Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany. This is the Brittany React Show, and on this show we talk all things entertainment news. There's actually no entertainment news today. Today we're doing an Ask Me Anything for Disney. So just Disney questions. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany. Anything about Brittany React Show, and on this show we talk all things IP that Disney owns. So you can ask me about Marvel, no entertainment. You can ask me about things. Today we're doing just anything Disney anything for
how are you guys
Disney.
doing?
Just Disney
Hi,
questions.
Eric.
Hello
Hi,
everyone,
Hi,
welcome back to my
Hi,
channel.
Hi,
You can
Hi,
ask Brittany
Hi,
anything
Hi,
about
Hi,
Brittany
Hi,
React
Hi,
Show,
Hi,
and on this show we talk all things IP that Disney owns. So you can ask me about Marvel, you can ask me about things. Today, Blackstar, everyone is here. Now, how are you guys doing? Just Disney
Hi,
questions.
Eric.
Hello
Hi,
everyone,
Hi,
welcome back to my channel. We ask you guys anything about Brittany React Show. So no, on this show we talk all things IP that Disney owns. So you can ask actually no IP that Blackstar, everyone is here. Now, guys, before we get into just Disney
Hi, Eric.
hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We ask you guys anything about Brittany React Show. So no, on this show we talk all IP that Disney owns. So you can ask actually no IP that Blackstar, everyone is here. Now, guys, before we get into just Disney
Hi, Eric.
hello everyone. Sorry about that, I just stopped it. You shouldn't be hearing double now. Hi everyone. What do you mean it's looping? What? Brittany invasion. Okay, everything looks fine on my end. I do not like tech issues. Okay, the double audio thing should be fixed. What do you mean the music? Should not be music. I have no music playing anywhere. What are you guys talking about? Okay, so we're good now? Okay, we're good now. Alright, okay, so maybe I fixed it. Sorry about that. I didn't realize there was an issue, my bad. But going back to the 4 p.m. time, did you guys hear that bit? I was asking you guys, could you come back? Could you guys be able to watch the show for those who can't do 7 p.m.? Could you do 4 p.m.? Or that's 3 hours earlier. Is that still too late? Hi, Ebony. Also, you guys can start asking me any questions you want. I will say, next week I also want to start launching, like, Brittany Rants. You guys have been asking me about that. I already told the group that was in the chat yesterday that I want to start with doing a rant video or a rant live stream for Quantum Mania, so that's going to be the first one. So look forward to that. That's going to be next week. Eve O'Connor can do 4 p.m. Okay. Slackjaw, it's all good. Okay. That would be better. Okay. Interesting. So I might move the live stream up just a little bit next week to 4 p.m. to try to get, like, both my international crew, which is you guys, and people who are, you know, in the U.S. So I think 4 p.m. might be the new time, but we'll see. Yes, it is Disney Edition, Joe Pedro. You guys can ask me any question you guys want, but please keep it about Disney. Natanya says, your top 3 Disney princess movies. Okay. Well, when I was a little kid, Little Mermaid was my favorite. But then it changed, and it became Tangled when I saw Tangled. So probably those 2, plus, I don't know. I really like Aladdin. I like Frozen. One of those. Out of those 4, pick those 3, and yeah, I'll be good with that. Did you enjoy Elemental on a scale of 1 to 10? I can't remember what ranking I gave it, but I would give Elemental like a solid 6. I think it's solid. Slackjaw says, Britt, how are we feeling about the movie Wish coming out? I did do a reaction to the trailer, and I did, like, slow it down and, like, have you guys see it frame by frame. So if you want to see a more, like, detailed discussion on what I thought about Wish, check out the live stream yesterday, but I actually thought the trailer looked really good. I think this looks like very promising for Disney. They've been having a lot of flops lately. So this one actually looks like it'll do decently, or at least I'm hoping it will. I'm still very mixed on the art style itself, but I like that Disney's at least trying. Disney's hiding Walt's frozen head supposedly in the Utilidor underneath Magic Kingdom, so I don't know. That's the rumor. I like, of course, the cartoon Aladdin more, but I actually like the live action Aladdin. It's the only live action reboot I actually like. Mari says, "Why don't you like the movie Brave? Merida is my favorite Disney princess." I've only seen that movie once, to be fair. And I saw it the once when it came out, so that was a while ago now. Maybe I should give it a rewatch just to see maybe it hits me different. But I just wasn't like that into the story. I think I remember the whole storyline about the bears, just like I thought was really silly and dumb. But maybe I just need to rewatch it. Like I said, I've only seen the movie once, and that was a while ago. Um, yeah, Brave should not have been a Pixar movie. I think it's very telling that Pixar has not done a Disney princess movie since, because I don't think Brave worked out for them. Slackjaw says, "Do you consider Mulan a Disney princess? I feel like if she can save the country, she can be whatever she wants." Yeah, Mulan is definitely part of the Disney princess lineup. Whenever you see like the Disney princesses together, Mulan is there. The only princess or the only character I'm not entirely sure is part of the Disney princess lineup is the one from The Last Dragon or whatever that came out like 2 years ago. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I think that was technically supposed to be a Disney princess movie, but no one saw it, so I don't know if they're counting it. Natanya likes the first half of Brave. Yeah. Eric says, "Did you like the movie Wish? Would you like to see it be as big as Frozen?" I think Wish could be as big as Frozen if the music is as good. If the music is as good, I think it has a chance, to be honest. I think it could be a sleeper giant hit. Yellow Umbrella says, "Unpopular opinion, but Up isn't that good. Like, the beginning is a masterpiece and so emotional, but apart from that, the dog bit of this movie was boring." You know what? I think I agree with you. I think the majority of the time when you hear people talk about Up and like why they love Up so much, usually the answer is just, oh, the first 10 minutes or the opening, which, the opening is very emotional. And I remember seeing Up for the first time too. I remember being in the theater and I was crying in the first, 5-10 minutes like most people did. But at the time it wasn't like common knowledge that like the opening is a tearjerker. So I was like thinking I was just being some huge softie. Like, why am I crying and this movie just started? Little did I know that would become like everyone's experience. But yeah, I do think that the movie kind of loses a lot of steam, especially once the Carl actually lifts the house and they head to South America. Once the house is actually in the area, I think the rest of the movie isn't as good as like the first act is. But the first act is magical. Um okay, Ebony says Mulan is not a Disney princess, but she is technically part of the Disney princess lineup. Like if you ever go see like the Disney princess toys or whatever, Mulan is usually included as one of the girls. Raya, that's the one I was talking about. Raya and the Last Dragon. Yeah, technically Raya and the Last Dragon is supposed to be a Disney princess movie too, but I don't, I mean, has anyone seen that movie? It came out during the pandemic. They released it on Disney Plus, and I feel like it just kind of came and went. Like no one talks about that film. I feel like it's not really canon. I don't see like, I don't know, I've never seen any toys or any like memorabilia for it like I do for the other princesses. I kind of feel like Raya is just kind of being forgotten. Nicholas Wilson, thank you so much for the super chat. Love Brave, but I'm Scott Irish. Okay. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible movie. It wasn't one of my favorites. But thank you for the super chat. Evil Connor thinks Up is boring. Yeah, I think after the first act, it definitely goes downhill. Hi, the laser. GQ Boy says, can you see Emperor's New Groove working as a live action remake? I don't know. Because you're gonna have to do a live action llama. Or live action llama, which is just a CGI photoreal llama. And I don't know if, I don't know if that's gonna work, especially because you have Yzma as well, whose power is to, like, she can transform into anything. Like, I don't know if that's gonna work in live action. I would love a sequel, but keep it in 2D animation, and I think you'll capture so much nostalgia from millennials that I think that movie could do really well. But put it in live action, I think it'll be too uncanny and people won't like it. So they should do more with Emperor's New Groove, but they should keep it animated and just make it a sequel. Yes, I know Aquafina is in Raya. I don't know. Aquafina has the best agent in the world. She gets so much work, and I don't understand it. Okay, Little Joe's Animation likes the entire movie of Up. Okay. I mean, a lot of people do love that film. Um, yeah, you guys didn't like Raya and the Last Dragon. Yeah, I didn't really care for it either. There's absolutely no hyper interest around that film. I feel like Disney is like just letting people kind of forget about it. Like, I don't even think there are toys for that movie. Um, Jao Pedro says, what do you think of Disney's twist villain era? People say twists like the Hans thing came out of nowhere. I think they should stop doing that, and maybe with Wish they are starting to stop doing that because they're already telling you that the who the villain is in the marketing. They're not hiding who the villain is. So I hope that Wish they're not doing that anymore because I do think that has hurt their movies. I don't know why they decided that they just can't have villains anymore for like the past 10 years, but I think that's a mistake. They were really good at villains. They never should have stopped making them. I love Ratatouille as well. That's a good one. Okay, Yellow Umbrella says Aquafunny is actually Aquafunny. Aquafina is actually really funny, but Scuttlebutt put her in a really bad light. I think I've just never found her funny. Like, I know she really blew up from that Crazy Rich Asians movie, which I saw, and I liked that movie. And I liked her performance in that, but I never thought she was just like so hysterical it should have blown up her career the way that it did. I'm just amazed she's been able to like keep a career going this long after that one movie. Um, Danny says, thoughts on the live action Coraline with Doja Cat? Huh? Danny, I feel like that you might have gotten that from a parody site, because that can't be right. There's no way that's true. Could you imagine? What, is Doja Cat gonna play an adult an adult Coraline? Like, what? I don't, no, that's not happening. Um, okay, Little Joe's Animation agrees, she's not funny. My gal pal says, well, you think you know how the villain is in Wish, but there could still be a twist. Oh, I hope they don't do another twist. I hope there isn't another, oh, he's actually, like, kind of the good guy. I would hate that. I would truly hate that if that was the case. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. Laura B says, do you have stories of your time being a cast member for Disney? I do. Do you guys remember... Okay, I don't know how many of you guys know anything about the parks, but do you guys remember when the Star Wars Land Galaxy's Edge was launched in Disneyland and Disney World? Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I say Galaxy's Edge? How many of you guys know about the parks at all? Because I started working at Disneyland right when Galaxy's Edge opened, and I could tell you for a fact that land was a flop on launch. It wasn't a hit until Rise of the Resistance opened because the parks were dead empty and the Disney was trying to spin it that the park was a huge success, but like no one was showing up until that second ride opened. Yeah, I remember that really, really clearly because I thought that was super funny. Felt like I was like on the inside of the Disney drama. But yeah, they really thought that park was gonna be like just draw so many people to the park. They thought it would be like unmanageable, and then the exact opposite happened. So yeah, that's some, I guess, some little insider theme park tea. I don't know. In fact, there was so much drama because they expected that park to be such a hit that they did something they don't normally do, which is they allowed cast members to transfer parks to go work at the new Galaxy's Edge because they expected they would need like so many cast members, but it turns out they didn't need nearly as many as they did because the park was so dead on launch. That it ended up screwing over a lot of people's schedules because a lot of people were willing to like forego their seniority, which meant that they weren't getting as many hours as they were because they agreed to switch parks. And it became such an issue, and cast members were so upset about it that they allowed people to get their seniority back and go back to the park they were supposed to work for. And they never do that. Like, that's a big no no. So that was basically admitting on their part that they messed up. So that's some, like, I guess, sort of insider tea. I don't know. That's one story. Joe Pedro says, I don't think the Wish villain is very evil coded, so to say. Not sure if they will go all the way with the villain thing. Joe Pedro, you're making me nervous, because I hope he is. I want him to be a bad guy. I want him to be a big baddie. Don't make him a softie, please. Um GQ Boy says, what obscure underrated Disney characters do you want to see in Once Upon a Studio? Underrated and obscure. Any of the characters from the what's it called, Robin Hood animated film? That was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I don't know why. For some reason, I watched that movie like over and over. So if there was any cameo from one of those characters, I'd be happy. Um, Yellow Umbrella says, I know WALL-E is your favorite Pixar movie, but what other Pixar movies do you like? My favorites are Finding Nemo and Inside Out. My favorites are Finding Nemo, Incredibles, WALL-E, which you've already mentioned. Those are my top three, for sure. And then I also like Inside Out and several others. But the top three for me are definitely like WALL-E, Finding Nemo, and Incredibles, the first one. Yes, I'm glad other people love the Robin Hood movie. It's so good. Brianna says, I want Chris Pine to bring the same energy he brought to Horrible Bosses 2 to Wish. I want the insane evil man energy so badly, you have no idea. We're on the same page, Brianna. We want the exact same thing. um. Oh, you have a costume for Robin Hood? That's nice. Prince says, I've heard there's going to be a Villain Land in Disney. Oh, yeah, there are rumors that they want to add a Dylan Land to, I think, part of Magic Kingdom. We'll see if that actually happens. Josh Tomorrow, who's the current head of the parks, has been promising all sorts of stuff. But that has not been, he's not actually been building any of it. So we'll see. We'll see. They're promising a lot right now, but I don't know. Favorite movie of the year so far? It's still Guardians 3, even though I really loved Barbie. That's a close number two. Guardians 3 is still by far my favorite this year. Oh, bye, Laser. Yellow Umbrella says, Britt, did you get to meet the evil queen in the parks? I don't know if I met the evil queen, but I worked at Disneyland has this thing called Oogie Boogie Nights. It's like for Halloween. They closed down California Adventure early, and they open it up for like meeting villains and trick or treating, and you can wear costumes and stuff. I did work that one year. That was fun. That was a really fun Halloween. I missed that Halloween actually. Works with a lot of good villains. Bingo's Adventure says, why do you think Disney is trying a live action Robin Hood, even though there was a Robin Hood live action on Disney Plus? I mean, I think they're just going to do a live action of everything because they're running out of stuff to do live action adaptations for, and they're too afraid to do something original. So they're just going to do everything. I don't know. I feel like they should just, instead of doing live action everything, they should think some of these should just get a sequel and keep animated. I seriously think there's so much nostalgia over like traditional 2D animation for millennials that if Disney ever put out another 2D animated movie again, I think it would do really well. Oogie Boogie Bash, that's the thing I was talking about, yeah. Nicholas says, who was the worst attendee you met at the parks? I don't know if I can pinpoint like one person, but there's a reason cast members call annual pass holders pass holes behind their backs. I'll just say that. Hidden Name says, since we're talking about Disney, have you watched Patrick CC's new video? You made a cameo. I don't know who that is, and what was the cameo? What did he say about me? Oh no. Whenever people say, like, other YouTubers mention me, I'm always like, oh god, what did they say? That makes me so nervous. Yeah, Disney needs money. I mean, they're a corporation. As long as people still keep buying and paying to see adaptations, they're gonna keep making them. Good morning, Rusty. I agree, Yellow Umbrella. Incredibles 2 got a bad rap, but I actually really enjoyed the sequel. I liked the sequel almost as much as the first one. Arvin says, someone who went to screen test of Snow White live action says that Gal Gadot's singing is annoying and auto-tune. I loved Poor Unfortunate Soul. I hope they don't ruin Evil Queen because I love Regina. I mean, that's awful. Gal Gadot already can't act. Now she can't sing. Why did they hire her? I mean, I like her as a person. She seems nice. And I like the first Wonder Woman movie a lot. I really love that movie, like, a ton. But maybe they just hired her because she kind of looks like the evil queen? Because if she can't sing and she can't act, like, what was she hired for? I mean, no offense to her. I like her. I do. But, like, that... If I'm gonna have to sit through another poor auto-tune performance after Emma Watson's Belle, I just don't want to hear that again. Brianna says, when Disney says they're going to make the Bambi remake modern, what do they mean by that? Oh man, I have no idea. We talked about this yesterday in the live show. I have no idea. I feel like I said, I feel like that's a threat. That can mean so many things. That can mean, like, maybe there's an environmental message about it. Maybe there's an anti-hunting message about it. I don't know. I think someone suggested that Bambi's mom will be too big of a girl boss to be shot. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, whatever they do. Did you guys ever see that SNL sketch with The Rock where he's Bambi? Maybe it'll be something like that. Who knows? Angel Barrera, thank you so much for the super chat. Always supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. Did she sing Imagine in Snow White? No, but I'm sure... What songs does the Evil Queen even have? I know that Snow White has several songs, but I don't even remember an Evil Queen song. Maybe they wrote a song for her? Dang, did they write a song for her and she still couldn't sing it? That would be really bad. But thank you for the super chat. Laura B says, they shouldn't cast someone who can't sing for a musical. That is so annoying. That is like my number one pet peeve. As someone who really loves musicals and really respects them, I hate when movies hire people that can't sing and they just expect the computer to fix everything because I can always hear it and it takes me out of the movie. I really hate it. Lewis Williams says, your thoughts on the possibility of a live-action land at the parks? What do you mean a live-action land? You mean they're gonna have a whole land based off of the live-action versions of their animated films? That sounds awful. Just expand on the cartoon versions you already have. No, I would not be for that. Yeah, that's what I thought. The Evil Queen does not sing in the original. So they did give her a new song. Oof. They gave her a new song! Probably tailored to her voice. And she still couldn't sing it? Oh man, that's really bad. Eric says, who is your favorite prince? Mine is Eric. Mine is Eric as well. I always liked Prince Eric. Second would probably have to be Eugene, because of course. Yeah, I know. Emma Watson, the auto-tuned voice in Beauty and the Beast was, oof. That was rough. That was really rough. Prince says, where'd your comment go? Oh, did you just delete it? Where'd it go? Oh, I thought you said something. Anyway. would I review Tangled the series? I would have to go back and rewatch it. I haven't watched it in a bit, but it is a very good show. If you like Tangled the original movie, and if you're just curious about what happens to the characters when the movie is over, watch the show because it's all about that. And it's like the characters are voiced by the same actors from the movie, so they talk and still sound the same. It's very, very good. Evil Connor says they had better vocals in the DCOM musicals than in Beauty and the Beast. What's DCOM? What am I missing from there? But yet the vocals in Beauty and the Beast were not there. Okay, Z Production says, do you know the YouTuber Pat CC? Because he made a vid about Disney's downfall and included you in his video as someone who has talked about Disney's downfall. Am I known as, like, Disney shit talker? Is that my reputation? I've chronicled Disney's downfall. That's very funny, but also kind of sad. Oh, Disney Channel original movies. Oh, yeah, Disney Channel original movies. I have to say, I don't know if this is just my nostalgia talking or, like, you know, when I was watching these as a kid, I had rose-colored glasses on it, but I have to say, those old, like, 2000s Disney Channel movies, some of those were better than a lot of the movies Disney's releasing today. Like, I would still argue those old High School Musical movies, they hold up. There's some older films that hold up. Like, I don't know what happened, but you're not wrong, Evil Connor. Those Disney Channel movies were actually, like, some of those were not bad. Prince says Lion Guard is a spin-off sequel to Lion King, and that we do backstory of Scar and how he got his scar. He sings about it. I mean, we are getting a Mufasa spin-off movie next year. Do you guys want to see Mufasa? We're getting, okay, in case you guys weren't aware, we're getting a spin-off movie of the live-action Lion King based on the live-action Mufasa. It's gonna be a prequel about the live-action Mufasa. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. I'm sorry, that's so stupid. I want that movie to, like, flop and bomb so hard just so they stop making stuff like that. Like, what? I'm sorry. I'm a big hater for that film. I am rooting against Mufasa hard. I don't even care. I hated the original Lion King movie. No, not the animated, the live action one. And I can't believe that they're making a spin-off on it. It's just, oof. I want that movie to flop so bad. I'm sorry, but I'm that movie's #1 hater. I don't care. I'm glad you guys also like the old Disney Channel music. Yeah, Laura B. Any character but Mufasa. Like, if you're gonna do a prequel, why not just do the live action version of The Lion King 1.5, where you focus on Timon and Pumbaa or something? Like, that was a cute movie, I guess, but why Mufasa? Like, maybe at least do one on Scar? But Mufasa? That's like, he's like the least interesting character in the entire story. I don't know. I think it's a mistake. And if it's anything like Maleficent, God help us. Because the second one is in the top 10 worst movies I've ever seen. The first one is decent, but the second one, top 10 worst movies I've ever seen. Symbala says, I don't know if I will watch it if it would be about the original movie. I would not the remake. Not sure what you're saying, but yeah, this movie is... Who is actually excited for Mufasa? Is anyone... Am I being too hard on it? Is there someone who is a Mufasa defender in the chat? Who is Mufasa? That's Simba's father. We're getting a backstory, a whole prequel movie about Simba's father, the guy that's only in The Lion King for, like, the first act of the movie. That's when I said, why, out of all the characters, you chose Mufasa? It is random. Yes, Danny, thank you. No more live action unless it's Atlantis with Tom Holland and Zendaya. You know what's funny about that? Tom Holland and Zendaya would be the perfect Milo and Kita for a live action Atlantis, but I don't know if they would cast them together again. I feel like that would be too much, especially since they're already Spider-Man and Mary Jane. I feel like they would cast someone else, but Tom Holland as Milo is very, I think, great casting. I would love to see him in that role. I have not watched Gravity Falls, only a few episodes. I couldn't get into it. I know it seems like the kind of show that I should like, but maybe I should try it again. Um, okay, GQ Boy says, I'm an Omega Lion King fan and I didn't ask for it. Yeah, who was asking for Mufasa? Seriously. I don't see one single defender in the chat either. GQ Boy, I don't think they're gonna do a Hunchback of Notre Dame, even though I would love that, just because there's no way in HE double hockey sticks that they could make that movie in the modern era. Which is crazy because they barely got away with making that film in the 90s, and you would think that with, like, as time has progressed, it would be, like, more okay to make movies like that, but I kind of feel like it's less okay now. Like, could you imagine the uproar if Disney made a live action Hunchback of Notre Dame and, like, didn't edit it, didn't water it down at all? Like, they could not get away with that. They couldn't do it. Lewis Williams says, if a random person from the Marvel universe could give you powers, what would you take? Oh, I love this, and I would 100% want Scarlet Witch's powers. She can just make up her own reality to live in. Isn't that, like, everyone's dream? Why would you not want that? I want Scarlet Witch's powers. Prince says, I know it's unrelated, but what is wrong with James Gunn? Who knows? Like, my guy is really burying DC for real. Yeah, I have no idea. Did you see when we talked about DC yesterday, Prince? What in the world is going on with him? He keeps saying he wants to reboot, but he's not fully committing. He keeps answering fan questions, but not really. He's only, like, creating more questions. It's a mess. He's a hot mess. I honestly thought he'd be better. All he had to do, really, was just copy whatever Kevin Feige did. But he's not doing it. And it's a mess. I love Sleeping Beauty. That's another movie I like. Symbala says the only Disney movies I'm excited for are Wish, Elio, Inside Out 2, and maybe Frozen 3. What about Zootopia 2? I think that could be picked as well. I'm very curious to see how Elio does. I was kind of a little excited for the trailer. I was, but not anymore. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be just okay. But we'll see. Lipus Felix says, how about Jim Carrey as the voice of a live-action CGI Mufasa? No. I like Jim Carrey, but let's get him in something else that's not an abomination. Let's get him away from Mufasa. Danny says, I'll never forgive James Gunn for what he did to Henry. I just don't think James Gunn likes Henry Cavill. I feel like that was the bulk reason he got rid of him, to be honest. Did I like Red? What do you mean Red? What Red? Arvin says, Aubrey Plaza's character is going to be more powerful than Wanda's Chaos Magic and Agatha, whatever the title is. Agatha, whatever the title is. Yeah, I mean, whenever we do get this Agatha series, you know what's funny? You know how all these Marvel shows lately have been, you know, they're not really getting the viewership that they want. Like, people just aren't really talking about them. Like, no one was really talking about Secret Invasion. I think the Agatha show could actually do that, just because WandaVision was so big, and that was like the last, or one of the last shows it seemed like the general public cared about from Marvel. So I think there's actually potential that the Agatha show could be a surprise hit, but we'll see. Oh, Danny says Jim Carrey is Hades and Hercules. Oh, that is great. Yes, now that is a role I can see him in. Let's get him as Hercules, not Mufasa. Oh, talking about Turning Red. Okay. I thought it was okay. It was okay. Slackjaw says, I think a princess movie with all the princesses would work, like in Wreck-It Ralph. Like all of them saving the princess or something would be funny. I'm surprised they haven't done that already. Disney could totally weave their own, like, live action Disney princess universe. Like, imagine Emma Watson meeting, I don't know, the other Disney princesses that we've met in live action and they all like team up or something. Like, I'm surprised they haven't been doing that. Rusty says, would you ever go back to being a cast member? No. No, I would not. The cost of living in California particularly is just too expensive for what they pay you there. It's a really sad situation behind the scenes with the cast members and like what people like have to do to like just be able to survive there. It's not a good situation. Joe Pedro says, did you play Club Penguin back in the day? Oh man, I love me some Club Penguin. I think it's a Disney related question. Yeah, Club Penguin was my thing, man. I played a lot of Club Penguin. Frozen or Frozen 2? Oh, the first Frozen all the way. I didn't like Frozen 2. I was very let down by it. I thought Frozen 2 felt like they didn't know where to take the story. Yeah, I mean, the princesses should totally have a crossover. I can see it happening. Okay, Alexander Padilla says Wizards of Waverly Place the movie. I never saw that one. I was never a Wizards of Waverly Place girl. I liked Hannah Montana. Ariana Grande is a huge Jim Carrey fan and she might be Meg. I can see Ariana Grande as Meg, especially if Wicked does well and she doesn't completely derail that movie. I can see casting her as Meg. How do you guys think I know this isn't Disney related, but how do you guys think Wicked is gonna do with the Ariana Grande drama? Like, is that gonna deter people? Are people ever gonna care by then? I'm very curious. Do I like any of the Disney sitcoms? Do you like the Disney Channel sitcoms? Because I don't really watch like ABC or traditional TV or anything like that. The last traditional like cable show I watched, or no, this was on NBC, was The Good Place. Love The Good Place, but I watched it on Hulu, so I don't really watch linear TV. Um, okay, so no, you guys don't think Ariana's gonna affect Wicked? Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's gonna affect the movie that much. Although the press tour might be very interesting. Like whatever happened with Don't Worry Darling's press tour, but like times 10 maybe. Oh, Rhea Rue says she has enough obsessive fans to keep her going. Maybe, maybe. Um, Laura B says Wicked should be bigger that Ariana, the songs are amazing. I think Wicked could be the Barbie movie of 2024. I still think it could be a very big hit. I know not everyone agrees, but I think there's a chance. Zion Parker says Wicked, it might do well, but it may have a little bit of too much drama. A lot of people don't care for Cynthia either. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking the main hindrance. Actually, there's two things that I'm worried about with Wicked. One is all the behind the scenes drama with the cast, and then the second is the fact that the few photos that they've shown us from this movie are all like super dark, and like people are making fun that they couldn't even see the cast. They couldn't even see Ariana's dress. So I'm really, really hoping they didn't do the thing where they made it super dark and you can't see anything, because I'm so over that trend. If they make this movie like super visually dark and ugly, that will also hurt this movie. It needs to be, this should be a very bright, happy, not happy, but it should be a very bright, colorful movie. I mean, they're in Oz. They're in Oz for a good bit of this film. Oz is green and magical. If they make this movie look super dark and ugly, I will be so unhappy. Cynthia Erivo is the actress who's going to play Elphaba in Wicked. Yeah, I know. They're both very controversial, so we'll see what happens. What's my favorite Kim Possible episode? I don't remember a specific episode. In fact, I remember more playing the Kim Possible game on the Disney Channel website than I do actually watching the Kim Possible show. But they had a really fun game that you could play on the website. America Chavez. Oh, well, welcome to the chat. Says flashbacks to the 2014 Godzilla movie where everything is so dark and hard to see. Yeah, that's what I hope. This doesn't happen to Wicked because those few promo pics that they put out kind of made me a little worried. Um, I know people are already forgiving Ariana. People just don't care. I guess some people do. I do have on the thumbnail shirt. Um, no real strike update today, Prince. We still just know that the actors and the studios are going to meet on Monday to renegotiate, so they'll probably be doing that all next week. And I wouldn't be surprised if the actor strike was over by the end of next week. So, all the strikes are about to be done soon. At least until the IATSE one. But that's not until next summer. Oh, Natanya knows the game I'm talking about. Yeah, they had a good game. I think it was called A Stitch in Time. I think that was the name. Clarity Crystal says, "Hi Brittany, how are you? Out of curiosity, who is your favorite Disney princess? Mine is Mulan." Yeah, I still think mine right now is probably Rapunzel. Just because I really love Tangled and I love the series. The series made her my favorite. I never really watched Disney XD that much. Alexander Padilla says the director of the movie Crazy Rich Asians and In the Heights. Director of what? Which movie? Directed Crazy Rich Asians and In the Heights, so it can be a mixed bag. Loved In the Heights, but Crazy Rich Asians was boring. Yeah, I thought Crazy Rich Asians was okay. I thought it was a bit overhyped, but I really liked In the Heights. In the Heights was really, really good. So, I'm not sure which movie you're talking about that they're directing, though. Are you talking about the Snow White one? Rusty, I think the rumor that Rachel Zegler was fired is just a rumor. I mean, they've already filmed the majority of the movie with her. I don't think they would fire her from the movie they've already filmed with her. Now, will Disney work with Rachel Zegler moving forward? I don't know, but she's not fired. Oh, you watched Lilo and Stitch and cried a lot? That's a good movie. It's a really good movie. For whatever reason, I have Lilo and Stitch and the old live-action Scooby-Doo movie. Like, for me, I have those two movies linked in my mind because I think they were in theaters around the same time. And I just have, like, memories of seeing those posters back-to-back. Really random, but for some reason, whenever I see Lilo and Stitch, I also think of the live-action Scooby-Doo movie. GQ Boy says, "I wish Tangled was never overshadowed by Frozen's popularity." Yeah, I like Frozen a lot too. I think Frozen's really good. I think it just became so popular, people got sick of it. I think that's really what happened to Frozen. Oh, you're talking about Wicked. Okay. Well, if the same director of Wicked is the same director of In the Heights, then that makes me feel a lot better. I used to be interested in acting Nicholas Wilson, not anymore. Yeah, I'm nervous about the live-action Lilo and Stitch. That has the potential to look very, very creepy. Prince says, "Oh, live-action Scooby-Doo movies, they were seriously better than most movies these days." I still really like the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. Especially the first one. Like, I think that one holds up. I don't care, I like that one. Naturally Spiritual says, "I honestly think the Rachel Zegler hate was a bit much. She hasn't even done anything since those comments came out, so I think people who are still talking about it... Honestly, the reason people are still talking about it is because her name brings clicks. As a content creator, I've noticed that myself. People just like to see people hate on Rachel Zegler right now. So that's why people keep dragging her name out. Do you think Cars and Cars 3 are good movies and a good franchise if Cars 2 never existed? I think the first Cars movie is good. I never saw Cars 2 or Cars 3 because everyone said... Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone said Cars 2 was really bad, so I didn't want to see it. And then because I didn't see Cars 2, I never saw Cars 3. So I've only seen the first Cars movie. And I actually liked the first one. The second Cars movie looked really, really bad. Like, really bad. Like, I knew to stay away from that one. Arvin says, imagine that shiny crab in live action movie talking about eating his grandma. What is the live action shiny sequence gonna look like? That's gonna be nightmare fuel. Do you guys really want to see a giant live action crab covered in jewels singing about how he's shiny? Like, is that something you guys really want to see? America Chavez says people who still hate Brie Larson for things she said back in 2019 should just get a life. If she hasn't said anything recently, I feel like if they were still saying stuff, at least there's something to talk about. But there's nothing new to really even talk about with Rachel right now. She seems to have gone like completely off the map since all of that broke out. So I think she's going to be keeping to herself for a bit. Okay, Cars 3 was great, so Cars was good. Okay, I haven't seen Cars 3. Maybe I should give it a chance. Any live action Disney movie that you cannot stand? Yeah, the live action Lion King. There's a lot of live action. Oh wait, that's not the worst one. Is it the worst one? There's a lot of bad ones. Because Maleficent 2. If you guys have not seen Maleficent 2, that's a crime against filmmaking. There's like nothing right about that movie. So I gotta say Maleficent 2 is maybe worse. And then there's also the live action uh, Alice in Wonderland movies, especially the second one. That one's also pretty bad. I would say those are my top 3 for the worst live action. Maleficent 2, live action Lion King, and the Alice in Wonderland 2. All 3 of those movies are terrible in my opinion. Just terrible. Maybe I should do a Britney rant on Maleficent 2, because my god, y'all. How was say Maleficent 2? Do you understand? I was literally sitting there in the theater like, oh my god, when would this movie end? I thought it was just, every time I thought the movie couldn't get worse, there was just a scene that would make my jaw hang open. Like, I was like, someone actually wrote this. It was terrible. Oh yeah, the live action Mulan is also really bad. They have a lot of bad ones. But the thing with the live action Mulan is I just thought it was really flat and boring. I don't think it was like, I think the director was competent because at least it looked okay, you know? I don't think the writing wasn't great, but it wasn't like Maleficent 2 terrible. It just wasn't, it was very flat and blah. That's, I think, Mulan's main issue. It could have been so much better. Um, oh, Laura B, you haven't seen Maleficent 2? You are not missing out. You are not missing out. Okay, America Chavez says, did you hear about the Barney horror movie? Yeah, they're doing this a lot. There was a Winnie the Pooh horror movie that just came out. The reason they're doing this is because a lot of these copyrights are expiring. Because when you think about it, because this is something I've been thinking about recently myself. Cinema, like the art of cinema, the industry of Hollywood, is really only about 100 years old. Like a little over 100 years old. And copyright law lasts for about 100 years old. So we're at this point in history now where a lot of those really early characters that were developed, like really early on, like next year, the black and white Mickey Mouse, he hits public domain because that copyright lapses. So we're getting a lot of these older characters, their copyrights are lapsing now because it's been about 100 years since we've started, making movies and stuff. Sorry, I hit the cam. Sorry, no, I'm going to stop doing that. But what I'm saying is, we're going to see lots of, like, really perverted horror versions of childhood characters because now they can do that because their copyrights have lapsed. So, yeah, we're going to see a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sure Disney's going to try to find their way around the Mickey situation. I have no idea what they're going to do because Steamboat Mickey is up for public domain next year, so it's going to be, I'm very curious to see what people are going to do about that. But yeah, it's the whole IP copyright thing is going to be very interesting this decade because a whole lot of IP is going to turn 100 years old this decade. Yeah, maybe we'll get a Mickey Mouse horror movie. I don't know, starring Steamboat Mickey. That'd be really funny. Um, Arvin says there is a Cinderella horror movie which Cinderella's gonna murder the step family. You know what? Murder is not the answer, but that family was so mean to her, they kind of had it coming, you know? Brianna says, can't wait for the flood of horror movies based off of childhood characters. It's already happening. You got Winnie the Pooh, we got Barney. There's going to be, I'm sure someone's going to do something crazy with Steamboat Mickey next year as soon as he's public domain. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know, the reason why copyright is as messed up as it is because Disney specifically has been the one trying to mess up copyright laws so they can hold on to all of these copyrights for as long as they can. Disney has been messing up American copyright law for like almost 100 years now. Disney is directly responsible for all of that. Look it up. Little Joe's Animation says, I love Maleficent and Allison movies. Why? I mean, all respect. Also, Beauty and the Beast live action is better than the original. What? No. I mean, everyone's opinion is different, but you think Emma Watson's auto-tuned voice is better than the original Belle? I mean, I guess art really all hits us different. I mean, you do you. Favorite Pirates of the Caribbean movie? I actually really like the second one the most. I know everyone says that, like, the Pirates movies all got bad after the first one, but I actually really like the second one. The second one's my favorite. Folklore Corner says Mickey is the captain of the steamboat and hates his job, so he kills everyone on board. I don't know. We'll get something crazy. Wait, you like Emma Watson's voice? But it wasn't even her voice. It was a computer imitating her voice. I mean, I like Emma Watson. I, obviously, as someone who's been a Harry Potter fan literally my whole life, I like her as a person. I just did not care for her voice in that movie. Nintendo, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. What is your opinion? 10 insufferable celebrities. I don't know if I can name all 10 off the top of my head. Just like 10 celebrities I find insufferable. Well, you guys know about Aquafina. Who else do I find insufferable? I don't know. I definitely have some, but I'm like off the top of my head. I don't know. I low key. I know I'm probably in the minority on this. I don't really have a reason to dislike her, other than just like, I don't know. She gives me bad vibes. But I low key kind of don't like Florence Pugh. I don't really have a reason. There's just something about her I don't like, and her whole behavior during the press tour for Don't Worry Darling just screamed diva to me. I don't know. But those are the only two I can think of immediately off the top of my head that I'm like, I just don't really enjoy them. But maybe I'll think of someone else later. What's an unpopular opinion? What did I say? Oh, that I like the second Pirates movie. The second Pirates movie is not that bad, y'all. It's not bad. Come on. I bet if you rewatched it, you'd probably like it. Going back, sorry, the chat kind of paused a little. Oh, Millie Bobby Brown. I don't mind her. I haven't seen her in much to really like have a negative opinion about her. Oh yeah, Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish is another one I find insufferable. Do not like Tiffany Haddish. Okay, Alexander Padilla kind of agrees with me. Ezra Miller is another person I find insufferable. So yeah, you guys are giving me some ideas. Mr. Gibson says, why Disney making a worse/bad childhood movie? You guys are so funny. I'm already at the end. Wow, it's been almost an hour, so I'll take like 2 more questions, and that'll be the end of the stream today. I hope you guys like this Ask Me Anything. I think this was really fun. There wasn't really like news to talk about, so that's why we didn't Ask Me Anything, and I figured why not focus on Disney since I know you guys like Disney. So thank you everyone for showing up. Like I said, I am thinking about moving the time of the show a little bit up to around 4 p.m. so that more of you guys could join, since I know 7 p.m. is too late for a lot of you guys. So I might have the show on at 4 p.m. on Monday, so check out for that. But again, I'm going to take like two more questions and then that'll be it for today. Oh, Laura B., I'm glad you enjoyed this. Oh, Evil Connor, you don't like Ansel Elgort. You know what? Ansel Elgort reminds me of the movie The Fault in Our Stars. You guys remember that? You know, back when that movie came out, the book was like all the rage. And I even read the book. And I never got the hype around it because those teenagers sounded like the most pretentious a-holes ever. and John Green wrote those characters like they were way older than they were. And some of those metaphors were so cringy and just. Tumblr ate it up though. Back in the day, Tumblr ate it up, but I never cared for that movie or the book. Nintendo Gaming, another super chat. Wow, thank you. What do you purge as American? What do you do in the purge as an American? Are you talking about the purge, like the movie The Purge? You know what? I saw the movie. I forgot the name of it, but whatever the last Purge movie came out, it was all about the fall of America and what that would look like. And sadly, I found it shockingly realistic and very scary. So if you're ever curious as to what the fall of America would look like and how that would be experienced, go watch the last Purge movie, because that gave me like a huge anxiety attack. Very random, but I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming to the live show today. This was really fun. I enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on Monday, not tomorrow, but on Monday, I believe around 4 p.m. So look out for that. And I'll see you then. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.